Welcome to Bottom and Bailey's Circus. We have Jimmy Cheeks, Elephant Boy, Johnny Merrick over here. This is amazing. This thing I'm going to show you, it's Jimmy Cheeks, totally becoming his brother Johnny A. Liar. Now Jimmy Cheeks, I guess, was a hitman for the Irish mob, the Italian mob. He was this freelancing freak. He still looks like Liza Minnelli. He's got a lot of makeup in this video. This is a sick one. Jimmy Cheeks is totally out of his mind. Like this guy is out of his mind. The lies, the embellishing is just out of this world. Look at him in full makeup form. He's got his mascara on. He'll turn the light off in a little bit, and you can see the cheeks, the glaring cheeks on his face. You can see the makeup just glaring off his face. He's got like the shiny cheeks going down. He looks like Michael Myers. Looks like he's melting. It's pretty insane. Cheeks is out of his mind. Yeah, guy would hang out with. Well, Cheeks admits he almost had HIV or something. This is a very sick Jimmy Cheeks video where Cheeks is becoming a gangster too now. It's real sick. What's up, I Am Truth? What's up, Faye? This is just the Alite brothers. What the Alitos are just pure bullshit artists. And this guy, he's on the show with Cheech and Chong's nephew. This guy looks stoned out of his head. I don't know the guy. I'm not going to make fun of him because I don't know him, but he looks stoned out of his head. He's got to be stoned to sit there and deal with Jimmy Cheeks for a full hour and just gobble up all of Jimmy Cheeks' bullshit. Oh, my God. Let's get into Liza Minnelli, Mickey Rourke after the face surgeries because and people might be asking, why do I call him Jimmy Cheeks? It's because when he was walking outside of his house, he fell and hit his cheek on the curb and needed face surgeries and everything. He's going to tell us that he had 20,000 different cancers, anorexia, all kinds of, and he's still in the same room. Look, that Mommy Alito puts him in and puts the tendies in the corner. And remember, this guy came out, I think it was like, 3-4 years ago, and said his brother, Johnny A. Liar, was the biggest bullshitter in the world. You can go check out on the Shadow of My Father's page, him calling his brother a liar. Now he's just going all along with his brother's lies and inserting himself in it, that he was a mob guy. You're going to have some West Side Story fights. This is twisted, but we're going to try to power through this, folks. So, strap in, or I would say Johnny Alito says to Michael Dowd, strap on and give this a watch. Hit like and share it, folks.
And, so
let's get into Jimmy Cheeks. Yeah, I want you to notice the mascara. I want you to notice the pretty in pink, the little creamsicle tight shirt. And once again, he gets it like he buys like little kid shirts and wears little kid shirts so he can like flex his arms. And he's going to talk about how many women he was with, so many women that they thought he had AIDS. Just crazy stuff. Well, let's watch.
Your experience is different. It could be a lot different than somebody else growing up in the same neighborhood, depending on the choices you made.
So what kind of led you guys into making the choices, to taking the dark path?
The dark path?
Yeah, I mean...
he's also going to tell us that, you remember like the last time Alito talked, he said now he's got a Albanian gangster grandfather. It's just some crazy stuff.
That, it's fun.
Notice the mascara. This is mascara on him. I want you to focus and notice the mascara.
Because we grew up really as kind of very, very eclectic. And so we were very well liked.
They were very well liked.
As young. So since we were really young, we kind of got along with every different type of crew. The preppy crew, the crew that did a lot of drugs, the tough guy crew, the athletic crew.
The tough guy crew. Like he's talking about high school over here.
So we were kind of like one of those guys, two of those guys that everyone knew.
And everybody knew Johnny and his anorexic brother. This guy tried to say he had anorexia. This guy's twisted.
And everyone accepted us in their group, even though we may not have did everything everything they did or followed, their protocols. It was kind of like, oh, that's the Alites.
That's the
they're in there.
Alite. Tell the truth. Your brother John went around for many years telling people his last name was Aleto to sound Italian. This guy's a
Like, so we kind of fit into all in the subgroups.
So he fit into every subgroup because Jimmy and Johnny Aleto were so well liked and loved. Sick.
Very eclectic. Very macho family.
Very macho family. Your brother shaves his legs. Your brother shaves his legs and goes on European tours with old senior citizen men. Like, come on, macho. What the fuck?
Albanian family. Very sort of grew up, I would say, kind of American, Italian sort.
See, this makes no sense. They always pull this. I grew up Albanian, kind of Italian American. What the hell does that mean, Cheeks?
In that kind of vein.
Jeez.
The Albanians are very similar in several aspects.
And let me tell you who this guy's
Petconomic
channel
savings
has so many.
Lesson 33. With Petco, you can get great
video. It's brutal, dude. Like, wow, money grubbers, man. Like, I just can't stomach people that put 15 commercials on their video. I
with
can't
a lot of
stand
athletics. My father was a fanatic with being, a boxer.
Football. Oh yeah, we heard that story. The father made them boxers, made them fight as 2-year-old little toddlers fighting for a fucking chicken tender in the corner.
A baseball player. The same way.
Sick,
grew up with a lot of athletics, and there would be my mother taught us boxing at 3, 2, 4 years old. There's home pictures of us and home movies of us boxing at that age, and
we've never seen them. If you've had them, I'm sure you would post them. And like I said, it's probably the father grabbing a piece of a chicken tendy, throwing it in the corner, and letting Cheeks and Aleto fight like pit bulls.
And playing all kinds of sports at really, really young age. This was before it was fashionable, to get into leagues very young and do things very young. We were like way ahead of our time for that time period in terms of.
He's way ahead of his time. He was joining sports before they were. What's he even talking about?
Training and boxing and other sports.
You just say tranny?
At a very, very.
He kind of looks like Bruce Jenner during like halfway transitioning on the Kardashians.
Like tender age. So
this guy's
I would say we grew up very macho, not aggressive in the sense that we were going to go after people or be bullies. We were small, but just kind of like you don't let anyone, step on you, and you don't ever fucking back down. And with that kind of mentality.
Wow. This guy paints himself.
And that led to other things progressively as we got into our young adulthood and our young teenage years.
Wow, is this guy a slip and fall school graduate or what? Like, wow.
Like that.
Right. Stupid. So it was just always being around like that tough environment, that the competition, and being, wanting to be, kind of like a tough kid, not taking no shit, right? But not starting necessarily.
Right. I was, me, myself, I was.
He looks like he's melting. He looks like a waxed candle, like he's melting. He does look like Michael Myers also.
Kind of quiet and, it took me a while to accept people in, new people, and I was very I had a shy streak. He's
a little shy boy. He's Molly Ringwald, fucking in Breakfast Club. He's a little shy boy. He's still a shy freak. Watch when I was a kid,
I had a shy streak. So, when you're going to schools, like you go from like 6th grade, where I was like, the class president, and I was popular, and I was tough, and I had the girls and.
He had all the girls in 6th grade. Wow, this guy's out of his
head.
All the
good stuff.
Watch how many times in this shows you that this guy gets no women to brag through this whole interview about how many women he had, where he almost had AIDS. This guy's
and then you go Yeah, and then that year, actually, I was on the baseball All Stars. The first year I could make it, and I was basically the MVP of the All Stars, which we won
Of
district
course he was. He was the MVP. He was an all-star. He cured fucking AIDS.
of the District of Queens for the first and last time. We had a very small baseball
Brain.
league. It was called Richmond Hill and Woodhaven, and in comparison, the other, we had thousands of kids in their leagues. We just had a very small, and we won District 27 champions the year that I was on the team. I was actually young. I was 11, so young. That was the youngest.
Yeah, this is Johnny Alite's bro.
And
this is Johnny Alite's brother, Jimmy Alite, Jimmy Cheeks, I call him. And Jimmy Cheeks, like I said, came out like 4 or 5 years ago and said his brother was the biggest liar, called him out on all his lies. Now he's jumping right into them lies and telling the same lies that his brother's telling. This is a desperate, mentally ill boy right here.
I excelled MVP. So I had a lot going on for me. And then once,
but many times you said at this age you had anorexia. So I don't get how can you be an MVP anorexic?
I reached the 7th grade, which is 12 years old and stuff. I went to a school that was, integrated, and we had kids coming from all over the place. South Jamaica, Brooklyn, Queens,
nuts.
And you just had the worst of the worst. It was kind of like it's almost like a little jail.
A little jail.
And told that you had to be tough, and there are guys testing you every day, like in jail.
So his middle school was like a prison. So they must have been coming punking Cheeks off for his chocolate milk, taking his PB&J sandwiches and stuff. I guarantee you Cheeks was a total clown. They probably pantsed him, gave him bunny ears, beat him up, put him in lockers.
Sort of like that if you had the mentality that you had to fight back everyone and you couldn't walk away. And you couldn't be just charming and walk away. And that wasn't how we were.
Where did you buy that shirt, Jimmy? The Oshkosh Bagosh section at Walmart? Look how small that shirt is. Always trying to make his arms look big. And look at his head. Look at that. Tell me that ain't Liza Minnelli. God rest her soul.
So you constantly had to prove yourself because we had like 2,500. Joe was constantly, 7th and 8th grade. But a lot of kids were left. A lot of guys looked like they could have been our fathers. I mean, they looked that much older. So they might have been left back a couple times. And
did you just hear that? Some of the guys could have been our fathers. What? So a 9th grader could have been your dad? Cheeks is not that bright.
Reached their puberty already, and they had full beards and mustache. So it was
they reached the puberty already. He's a sick puppy.
A very tough.
Ever
I can tell you,
see that movie Lean on Me? So
that.
Jimmy Cheeks went to the same school as Lean on Me. You ever see that movie with Morgan Freeman? They used to call me Batman, but now they call me Crazy Joe. Jump Sam's. You like smoking crack, Sam's? Dude, you didn't go to Lean on Me school. Get out of here. Free.
So Johnny's first murder.
Right away, they love it. Snuff Brothers. Johnny's first murder. And now I'm going to tell you about Johnny's first murder. Fucking wow. And look at all this makeup. Holy shit, Cheeks.
Believe it's
Show us the scars. If we seen Cheeks in person without all the flamboyant makeup and cover up and gloss, you would see all the scars on Cheeks' face from these weird surgeries and stuff.
Was Georgie Grasso.
Georgie Grasso. I shot Georgie Grasso and Johnny Gabba.
Mm-hmm.
He had to throw that Georgie Grasso.
And so the first 2 weeks I was going to school, I would have to take a bus and a train and bus to school.
You were on that short bus next to Jimmy Calamandria, wearing helmets, licking the windows, eating the dried gum off the bottom of the seats, you name it.
And I think the first 2 weeks of school, the buses were packed, and I used to go down and these That was
he does have some eyebrows. Cheeks, his eyebrows are very light. He plucks them. He's into plucking the eyebrows big time. So he's lost. In 5 years, he's going to look like Schmeagol with the eyebrows.
stopped Jamaica Avenue. And so it'd be about 4 or 5 buses going down to Jamaica Avenue, loaded with kids. I mean, standing, hanging on the rails, sitting. I mean, it was packed. Each bus was packed. And they kick the windows out of the bus every day.
Wow, how dangerous, Jimmy. You lived a real dangerous life. 7th graders on buses. Wait till he tells you he was an Irish gangster, too. Oh, my God.
Were afraid. So the windows were actually kicked out of the bus. So someone would, hold on to the top of the railing and then swing and then just kick the windows out of the bus.
Wow.
So this kid was going after people on the bus and saying, "Let me see your pen." And my friends were all giving it to him. And he went to me and he said, "Give me your fucking."
And of course, Jimmy Cheeks jumps up in righteous indignation and defends the world. Jimmy Cheeks is the hero.
Whatever, give me your wallet, the bus pass.
Jesus.
And I said, "Go fuck him."
Cheeks is so tough.
My friend says, "Jimmy, you know who that is? That's Chris Grasso."
All right, so I guess another commercial.
Wind is incredibly important
so
for Block Island and a real
fight with
constant.
Georgie Grasso's brother, he's saying here. You do not need 14 friggin' commercials in your video.
Chris Grasso was actually Georgie Grasso's older brother. Now, I didn't know them at the time. I knew a little bit of them and their gang. But I didn't know them personally. They didn't know me personally.
This 7th grade? What's he talking about?
So I grabbed the thing from Chris. He grabbed my thing.
Wait, I grabbed his thing and he grabbed my thing? Is this sort of like Tuggies for Tendies, Jimmy? Because a few people don't know out there, when Jimmy Alite was telling the truth about Johnny Alite, saying Johnny's a liar, he's embellishing, and he's telling lies, Johnny Alite sent Jimmy a text message. And it said, if you keep exposing me or talking about me, I'm going to tell everybody how you jerked me off when we were kids. So this is the kind of family we're dealing with. Jimmy Aletto and Johnny Aletto are some creepy sons of bitches.
No, I can talk to him. So
Jimmy Cheeks thinks he's James Dean, a rebel without a cause.
Everyone's saying on the bus now, Chris is going to kick this guy's ass. Wait till we get to the. So Chris.
These are middle school stories, and he's going to. Oh my God.
Buses, they're screaming out the windows to the other buses that Chris Grasso is going to kick this guy, me.
Chris Grasso is going to kick this little chich's ass, this little chicharel anorexic, makeup wearing freak Cheeks, little shy boy, Bambi. What are you, fucking Bambi over here, you shy friggin' bitch?
This guy's ass on Jamaica Avenue once all the buses get off. So everyone's waiting off. So everyone can go to the fight. So it was packed with people. And, I kicked us pretty easily.
Of course.
And,
of course, very easily did the anorexic wonder James Orenthal Cheeks, Makeup Jenner, Michael Myers, Wax Candle. Of course, he kicked his ass. And this dude just stoned. He's like, "Yeah, just give me another joint and make me some more money with my 14 friggin' commercials."
After that, we waited a few days for Chris to show back up. I waited. I was getting cocky. Waiting for Chris to show back up.
He was eating cocky on the bus with the helmet. They were licking them windows.
And, his gang was there and stuff. And
his gang was there. So I guess they had gangs in 7th grade. He's saying, this is weird. But
I waited late, and I had waited.
He was late for his period. He thought he was pregnant.
Kind of just me and another guy and whatever. So what happened was we went to get on the train. It was the winter time, so it was probably 5:30 at night. It was dark. And Chris.
Oh, my God. Oh, thanks, Edwin. Hold on a second. And God bless you, Edwin. Claim the strength and honor always, and God bless you. this is meant to. Jimmy Cheeks is literally just said, you know what? I'm going to throw in with my brother and just go with all his lies.
Grasso didn't show himself, but his gang showed up.
His gang showed up.
Damn.
So this is West Side Story, folks.
When I was on the train, they were coming up the train, chains, knives, and so we ran. I ran
Jimmy
down.
Cheeks the other night watched a movie called The Warriors. Jimmy was watching The Warriors. Liza Minnelli, come out and play, yay, yay. Fucking freak. Cheeks, the mascara.
To the other,
Thanks,
I don't know
Jim.
if you know how an L platform is on the top with those trains. I ran down to the other side with my friend, and we went up. We tried to escape to the other side, but it was locked in, so you couldn't get out. So we went up the other side to the other side of the train.
So this is some Mission Impossible type stuff right here. He's literally Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. He's jumping on top of trains.
And they came up both sides. So we would, and they had us. And Georgie.
Look how feminine. And Georgie. Wow, Cheeks.
Was one of the guys that was with him. And he was younger than me, but they had older guys too. And, they threatened me. They did all the stuff with the bats and everything else.
What is the stuff with this is all bullshit. Okay. They threatened me and they did all the stuff with the bats. What does that mean, Cheeks? Did they swing the bat at you? Did they insert the bat in a cavity, an anal cat? What did they do with the bats, Cheeks? Here's how you can tell these people lie. Like, you listen, if you got cornered on a bus with a bunch of dudes with a bat, you would remember what they did with them bats. Maybe it was a Larry Mazza pogo stick fucking festival. Who knows?
But we made friends later on. They all made friends with me.
So after they did the things with the bats, folks, whatever that is, they made friends with Cheeks because Cheeks is just so cool.
But, later on, who knew years and years later that my brother would wind up killing this guy, Georgie Grasso.
And that's what it's all about. For you and your brother to come on here and brag about Georgie Grasso and Johnny Gebbett being killed.
Damn.
So,
hey, look at him. Damn, I need another hit of that purple haze, motherfucker. This guy look creepy, man. Shit, he looked creepy. And I want you to notice the makeup. We'll get to see the makeup and shining people holding hands. You'll see his shiny cheeks and all the makeup and cosmetics that he does have on his face. Once the lights go off in the city, you watch.
And that was my first, kind of gang fight in that.
Doesn't sound like a gang fight, Jimmy. All they did was chase you on the top of the train, and they did something with the bats, whatever that means, Jimmy.
Particular, the first 2 weeks actually.
Look at the
new school.
Yeah, so there was always a lot of fighting then.
Yes, Curtis. He looks like the present day Mickey Rourke after all them surgeries. Oh my God, he sure does. What's up, Claudio? What's up, Minnie Mucha, Joey D? I don't want to spend too much time saying hi to everybody because I don't want this going too long because there's some gems in here, folks. Him Irish get mobsters now.
Yeah, I got into a lot of fights and we got into a lot of gang fights too. Not on purpose. It was kind of like
a lot of
coincidental,
like the massive gang fight you just told us about, where they chased you and they did the things with the bats, whatever that means.
Just sometimes shit happens.
Clayface,
and you get yourself caught up.
He does look like he's got clay on his face. Well, that's all the caked makeup.
Into the wrong situation.
Once again, his 94th
this is
video.
a traditional public school. My little brother loves going here.
I also love spider.
Oh my God.
So we always had that. You kind of knew.
I hope you feel better, Assassinino. I hope you feel better, man. After the first couple of gang fights where he doesn't explain the gang fight at all. If you get into gang fights or any fights, you're gonna remember what happened. Cheeks is just pure figments of his imagination. The never-ending story.
kind of know like
What's
when
up,
it's coming,
Jerry?
what to expect, and you kind of you get that PTSD from the
He's got
last two.
PTSD from these gang fights that nobody even hit him with a bat. They just did, the bat thing, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know. But he's already got PTSD. He's a professional victim, this little sweet little buttercup. Jimmy's little buttercup's got the sweetest smile. Unbelievable. PTSD, you pussy.
Or whatever, you start
PTSD over getting in fights in middle school? You fucking queen.
that anxious feeling like something's gonna go down right now.
Yeah, that's what Michael Dowd said when your brother had him in the room. Something's gonna go down right about now.
And
so you can feel it.
Yeah, you feel it because guys are coming from all over the place. All angles. You don't know who's coming with what, carrying
All
what,
angles.
whatever it is.
Wow.
So yeah, we saw ourselves in a lot of situations.
A lot of situations that he can't tell you nothing about. All these gang fights that gave him PTSD. The most in-depth thing he told us is that they did the thing with the bats.
Situations like that. We saw guys from the. I mean, we grew up. I don't want to jump around too much, but we grew up. My mother, on our mother's side, her father was a gangster.
And now this just came. The Aletos just started telling this lie about a year ago, 6 months ago, that they have an Albanian gangster grandfather. Never heard that before, but
an Albanian gangster, and he used to run a card game in New York City. And I wasn't aware of this, and he had killed some.
He wasn't aware of this until Johnny told him a week ago.
But at some point.
Oh, of course. The grandfather killed people at some point, of course, too. They're all killers. Yeah, he gets PTSD for looking in the mirror. Well said, Kathy. What's up, Montauk, Joey, Ron, Cuban B? What's up, guys?
Apparently this guy was.
Yeah, amen. Justice Fallon-Kaiser.
Looking to rob him, but his card game. And on my father's side, my father grew up with a lot of guys, and we grew up with and a lot of mobsters from the past that were like big names. And my uncle ran.
This is an all bullshit lies they've created in the last year. His father was friends with Luciano's cousins and all. It's all bullshit.
Card game in the Bronx.
Because these guys are on YouTube for 7 years. They never told these stories. It all comes every year. They add on new embellishments, new stories, new lies.
And
what's up, Minnie DeMucha, Tommy, Toxic?
He had Blackie Luciano, Lucky Luciano's. I think he was his nephew or great nephew. I'm not quite sure. And we grew up with a lot of other gangsters. We used to go to the card games with all gangsters.
You were card games. He wasn't. This guy is so full of shit.
And they all
because we remember the Jimmy Cheeks interviews, and none of this was ever said. Cheeks
money, and so we kind of grew up around a lot of. My father was involved, but he wasn't a gangster himself.
Wait a minute. How many times did they tell us the father was De Niro from Bronx Tale? I don't want you in the streets. And then other times he's a gangster. And then he's drunk Grandpa Alite. Give me a drink, bitch. And make them two retards fight. Make my retarded sons fight. It's like, what the fuck?
But he was around. He was a tough guy. And was around with a lot of. So we kind of like.
Oh, thanks, Roscoe.
We taught a lot of different,
men.
And my father. And
we touched on a lot of men. What gangsters? You never said your father had gangster connections before. This has all come up in the last year and a half. This is ridiculous.
My mother's side a little bit.
Now his mother's side got gangsters. The father's side got gangsters. The guy he bought his puppy from was a gangster. Give me a break.
But you don't know any different. Like, you kind of grow up with people. They're nice to you. They give you a lot of money. They tip you out good money when you're working for them.
You didn't work for no gangsters as a little kid. He's taking his Johnny Alito stories out. I don't know if it was the Lucchini family who raised them in a pub and then raised him on a baseball team, and then John Gotti drafted him as a hitman in '84. Some sick shit.
You know, I really didn't think twice about it. You know, he's
Right.
kind of used to it.
He's used to it.
kinda
He
like,
grew up around that. Bullshit. The connections these guys had with the mob was his brother was with John Gotti Jr.'s crew for 2 years. And then Gotti Jr. Started hearing that Johnny Alite was running around using his name to try to sell drugs and shit. So Gotti Jr. beat up Johnny Alite and chased him out of the neighborhood. All this other shit is fabrication.
oh, this is just natural, normal stuff.
Yeah, you just grow up and you just, you know, yeah, like you said, it's just all natural and
Yeah, just like I got some sativa, purple haze. It's all natural weed, man.
you know, it's
Look
like,
at Cheeks. He's getting all riled up. He's jimmying in his pants. He's moving around. Cheeks is loving this because somebody is believing Cheeks' story and making John Merrick, Elephant Boy, the best baseball player, child gang fights, the best anorexics, loaded with cancer. He makes so many lies up about cancer. He's a sick man.
Really nice guy. He's never done
Look
that.
at the head bobbing back and forth, bobbing and weaving. And yes, he is lacking eyebrows. Cheeks has lost about 40% of his eyebrows from the last time we've seen Cheeks. And he looks like a cross-dresser.
To me, I mean, you guys
Right.
say all this stuff, but you know, I don't see that side of him. You know, it's just kind of
No, you'll never see that side because that side never existed. IEP catheter or whatever he's got on his shirt. I don't know, dude.
how it is, you know. And
Look at Cheeks, how happy he is. He's moving around. Or maybe he's trying to shimmy that little plastic phallus that's stuck in his you-know-what right now. I don't know. Cheeks is deranged.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. You get around it, and then, I mean, eventually
Smoke another joint, pal. I don't know. You get around it, and eventually you get around it. I don't know.
you grow up, then you're like, okay, you know. So when was that moment for you?
When was that moment, Cheeks, when you grew up and you're like, oh my God, the mafia is everywhere. Albanians, Irish, Italian.
When you were able to realize, like, okay, there's something more going on, like with
Well,
these people.
Yeah.
Look at Jimmy Cheeks, jive and jive talk. Oh my God.
I didn't have like any great, what do you call it, to be around anyone in particular. I was I was a really good athlete. I was, you know, excelled in boxing. I excelled in a lot of sports.
All right, how did you do that when you were anorexic and you had 3 or 4 forms of cancer that you claimed?
You know, I was really,
Wow.
that was my thing. And I was very tough. And I was really good with my hands.
He was very tough, really good with his hands. He cured the blind. He could do anything, Cheeks.
And to be honest with you, that was my thing, you know, and
That was
I
his
didn't
thing.
really see myself getting involved in any kind of street shit or anything.
But you just said you had 100 gang fights, all this stuff. He's going to say he was with the Irish mob. This guy's a clown.
I didn't really see myself going down that path at all.
No, you've seen yourself going down on who? Gigi Gorgeous. The Gigi Gorgeous story, let me tell you people real quick. We had a friend named Tanya that used to talk to Cheeks. They were friendly. Cheeks had a super crush on Tanya. He would send her stupid pictures of himself, and Tanya wouldn't send pictures of herself. She would send pictures of a transgender person named Gigi Gorgeous. And Jimmy Alite used to touch himself to the pictures Tanya would send. But little did Jimmy know that the pictures were from a transformer, Gigi Gorgeous.
Right.
Oh, another commercial. Oh my God, dude. Come on, man. Come on, dude.
I did not see myself. I just didn't see myself. It didn't seem to be like, you know, I wasn't thinking of, you know, selling drugs or bookmaking or, you know,
Now he's a bookmaker. Oh my God.
It just didn't occur to me, to be honest with you. My thing was being a tough guy in myself And
I was a tough guy. I'm the tough guy. No, anybody could. You were the weak guy. You were the little anorexic bitch. You were Molly Ringwald. You were pretty in pink. You probably helped shave your brother's legs. A little boys take bubble baths, doo-dah, shave their legs and get punked up there. Oh, doo-dah, gay.
And making money, and I didn't really think about how I was going to make money. I wasn't a big hustler when I was young.
You just said you were a
just
friggin' bookmaker.
kind of like just looking for cracks in the wall, looking for opportunities and stuff.
He's looking for a crack in the wall to go wrestle the cheese off the rat, little mouse.
I wasn't sure what I was going to find. And
well, it's just like the crying game. We've seen what that guy found, and I bet you Jimmy Cheeks found something very similar. Don't be an Emmy. And yeah, go check out the WePushBack.com. Go check that out. Oh my God. Yes, I bet you. He beat everyone's ass. He's a total liar. Jimmy Cheeks definitely idolized Richard Gere, Gerbil Experiment, without a doubt. He is totally geared up for the gerbils to enter the back entrance. How many innocent gerbils do you think perished in the bowels of Jimmy Cheeks and Jimmy the Helmet?
Johnny at one point
shaved his legs and sucked off a bouncer.
I had some problems with my health, and I had anorexia for a couple of years.
All right, so he had anorexia for a couple of years, but was the greatest baseball player, shaking people down, gang fights. I'm not making fun of anorexia, but mostly anorexic people are like 14-year-old girls.
And so when I was about, I guess, 17 to, let's say, almost 20, or 17 and a half to 20, I was soaking wet. I was probably 102 pounds.
102 pounds.
So
what are you, Eugenia fucking Clooney over here?
To give you an example, I'm like, what, 170 something now. And it's a good weight for me. So you can imagine I was emaciated, and I was the same size, same height as I am now. So I would say that, the doctors that examined me said it's a miracle that you're alive, and it's a miracle.
There's always miracles saving Cheeks from these terrible, terrible diseases.
You don't have any, major organ damage.
Holy shit.
And people wouldn't even recognize me on the streets. Like, I would literally walk by people, and they would not have any idea that it was me. When I look back and saw pictures of myself at that time, I could not recognize myself. I had no idea. I saw, when I looked at a picture.
Well, if you look at a picture of yourself now when you were younger, you wouldn't recognize yourself neither, because now you look like Mickey Rourke / Liza Minnelli, Bruce Jenner. I want you to notice the shiny makeup. Jimmy Cheeks will not go on camera without makeup. Look at all this, what is it called? Cover up, a blush, the mascara. This guy is one insecure bitch.
Picture, I'd see a really sick guy that I said, wow, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like that.
Yeah, that's right, Marky. Cheek implants. That's why he's Jimmy Cheeks.
Like, I had no idea.
And he didn't get it from fighting or gang fights. He was walking down his mother's stairs, and he's pigeon-toed, and he tripped and smashed his face on his mom's stairs.
Until I was pointed out that was you. So
I was going to ask, what was your cause of that, or like, why did you feel like that way, that you wanted to be anorexic, or
why did you feel that way that you wanted? Well, keep smoking the doobies, pal.
Yeah, I think I had some really, really bad auto and neuroimmune diseases that they weren't.
See how many and I'm not making fun of anybody with diseases, people, but I've listened to Jimmy Cheeks over 2 years now. And I've heard Jimmy Cheeks say he had so many of these diseases that it can't be true, man.
Diagnosed at that age.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a combination of that, having these neuro diseases were really bad. So I was boxing and playing all these sports on a very highly competitive level. I could have played, there was no limits really in boxing.
Okay, you were
Football,
anorexic. You weighed 102 pounds. What could have you been in? A half a featherweight? A needle weight? Like, honestly, come on, Cheeks.
I think I would have been like, I mean, I would have played college.
He would have played college. His brother lied about being on the Tampa Bay baseball team. People looked it up. He was never on the roster. These two guys, these brothers, are just the biggest liars. Kane and Disable.
You know, this would have been, you know, and they wanted me to be a pro boxer.
They wanted him to be
a
pro boxer.
Started boxing as an amateur, and I was knocking guys out.
He was knocking them out with jabs at 102 pounds, knocking people out with jabs, folks.
You know, in the first round, and
first round knockouts with jabs.
Really natural at it, to be honest. That and football, I was really natural. That was my kind of thing. And baseball I was good at too, but not to that extent.
Well, you've lied before and say you could have went pro in baseball. Colleges wanted you.
And I lost wins. I was losing my capacity to have any oxygen when I did my, you know, you can't fight, you can't do anything when you have no.
Okay, if you're losing oxygen and all that and you can't fight, how do they want you to be a boxer and you're knocking people out with one jab?
No lung capacity.
What the fuck?
Something wrong. I started watching my diet, and then there was a lot of trauma going on at the house, and there was a lot of PTSD and
home trauma. And who's that from? Get me that drink, you bitch. Daddy Alite. PTSD, this little sweet potato pie. Give me a beer, bitch.
Something led to another, and I caught myself in a whirlwind. And, you know, I stopped eating. So I think it was, you know, some of it was definitely physical, and then some of it was psychological.
Because poor Jimmy had PSD from a gang fight in 6th grade where people walked up with him on bats and, you know, they did those things with the bats.
You know, without going into details, there was a lot of, you know, different abusive things going on.
Exactly. So Daddy Alite kicking the piss out of you and your Ricky-Yoon brother.
It was my way of just like taking a time out, and you know, you kind of find yourself in this rabbit hole, and then you just got to climb out on your own. And there was this kid, Billy, a streamer that I boxed with and played, you know, the All-Stars with in baseball and football, and he was with the Jimmy Burke.
Here it comes. He's Irish gangster. Now Jimmy Cheeks was with the Irish mob. Listen to this shit.
The crew from the fans of High.
Lafanza, Latanda. He can't even pronounce it.
And the crew from Goodfellas.
The crew from Goodfellas. Jimmy Cheeks was running with the real tough Irish guys.
So Billy was a childhood friend. He was he was working now for Jimmy Burke. And
that's right, Marky.
Billy came to see me.
The Irish Mafia now.
And he was shocked to see that I was emaciated, shocked.
He looked like a white Ethiopian.
He felt really bad for me because he couldn't believe it. You know, he was like, "What the hell happened to you?" And he goes, "I want to take you to dinner." So a couple days later, I said, "Yeah, let's go." And a couple days later, we went to some Italian restaurant, mob operated Italian restaurant. And the first time I ate a dinner in probably a couple of years.
Yeah, it's the first time he ate a dinner in a couple of years. So where the hell were you doing all this boxing, all this Irish mob gang stuff? Just, man, you were just like your fucking weird brother who shaves his legs and flies around the country with middle-aged trisexuals.
And then I never looked back. I said, fuck it. You know, I'm going to gain my weight back and everything else. And Billy was actually...
Wow. It's disturbed. He celebrates it every day as Michael Myers. This guy with another commercial? Come on, dude.
The season of celebration is at Raymore Flanagan. Shop now and get it by Christmas.
Fuck you, Ray Moore.
In the northwestern section of Canada lies this.
Look at these
dudes. I was hanging out with Billy, and he was shot up. Now, Billy wasn't with Gotti. Billy's with, like, again, he was with the Jimmy Burke's crew. So different
crews that Jimmy was totally involved with. Bullshit, Jimmy.
And Billy
Johnny Alite just said, "Hey, Jimmy, take my lies and run with them."
Up and found in a dumpster about 6 months later. And then I kind of, like, at that point, you know, because I was starting to hang out with everyone. I was getting my feet wet, you know, with that life.
He was getting his feet wet with that life. What, skinny dipping with a bunch of trannies, Jimmy?
And at that point, that would have been a point where I said, no, I'm getting the fuck out of this thing.
Jesus.
But, you know, I cried for Billy, but I did not back away a step. You know, that didn't deter me to get involved in the lifestyle.
No, so Jimmy still wanted to be the Peaky Blinders.
Would have been a good, yeah, that would have been a good deterrent, a good eye opener for me. But I guess I wasn't ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it at that time. But Billy was a strong, tough kid.
He wasn't ready for it. He still had to be that Irish
he was on his way. You know, he would. But I heard he hurt the wrong person, did the wrong thing, whatever, and they, you know, they set him up.
It is Halloween every day for Jimmy Myers.
They riddled his body full of bullets.
What's up,
and he was probably about 21 years old at the time.
Damn, so he's really young.
Yeah, young guy. Yeah. So, you know, I was young too. I was a little younger than him, just slightly. So, you know, 21 to me didn't seem young at the time because that's what I was, but, you know, a little younger maybe. But now in retrospect, yeah, it's a baby.
Yeah.
You know,
damn.
Yeah.
Damn. So after that, it really just pulled you into it more. And
I think I was already getting pulled in. I was getting pulled in with the Irish guys, with Johnny Depp.
Listen to this. He was getting pulled in with the Irish guys, the Italians. Next week, they're going to be Russian gangsters.
And those guys and his brother-in-law. Then I was also with my brother and John Gotti and all the Italian guys.
Oh, my God, John Gotti. You didn't work for John Gotti, dude. Neither did your brother. He's a full of shit.
As friends and you know, things, nothing major at that time. But I was really doing more. Yeah, I was doing more with the Irish, you know, at that time. And I was hanging out a lot with the Italians too. So I was, you know, partying with them both.
So he was part in with both the Italian mob and the Irish mob. Jimmy was a hot little prospect. He was a hot little prospect and some Daisy Duke sitting out there with his mascara on, all 102 pounds of him, best boxer.
And hanging out with them and girls and all that other stuff.
And girls.
But I was doing more business, I would say, at that time with the Irish.
Oh, my God.
With the Irish.
What pulled you to the Irish?
To be honest with you, it was, you know, I started out late and, you know, pecking order.
Listen to how this is weird what he says.
These
my God, another commercial. Jesus.
And
he was beneath John Gotti Jr. and his brother. These stories are just, oh, man.
And I didn't want to be answering to nobody.
He didn't want to be answering to nobody. Cheeks was a one-man wrecking crew. He was an ass wrecker.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Irish crew, I was kind of like, you know, you just make your bones and you just. And
how did you make your bones, Jimmy Cheeks? This is ridiculous.
Do your own thing and, you know, whatever. But the Italians, you kind of had to, you know, watch your pecking order and you had to, you know. So there were a lot of people like that. So it gave me a lot of power. But at the same time, I didn't like answering to authority.
Yeah, because Jimmy Cheeks was just, just a one-man powerhouse. He didn't like no authority. He was a power bottom, if you ask me.
What you would call authority.
Yeah.
So I didn't want. So
And look at him going along with his brother's lies right here. Dude, remember 4 years ago when you called your brother out for all of his bullshit, said your brother was the biggest liar and embellisher? You said you knocked on your brother's door with cancers and he kicked you out into the cold.
Irish crew wasn't like that. It was sort of like more of a less organized in certain ways, less formal.
So that's easier for Jimmy to come in and make lies up, I'm guessing.
You can go out and beat somebody up. You didn't have to answer them. It seemed like all eyes were on you in the body. Like everyone's watching everything you do, and you're a fuck up. You're afraid to fight. You're afraid to do this. You got to answer for everything. So I didn't. There was a song, but I forgot who did the song. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Oh, Michael Jackson. Yeah, when
look at Michael Jackson. It sounded like Michael Jackson was somebody else.
It was Michael Jackson in the hook, but the guy Rockwell sang it. Did Cheeks not jerk his brother? Yes. I don't know who the dude interviewing is. It's some guy who loves money a lot. He's got 1,000 money symbols everywhere, and he's got 4,000 ads in his video.
Else actually who sang that song. I forgot.
Really?
Yeah, it was somebody else. You'll look it up later on. Yeah, it sounded just like Michael Jackson, right? Unless he had a background in the song.
He did. He had a hook, you fucking feeble-minded Dunsky weirdo.
And it was
Rockwell that wear the same makeup Michael wore.
Then I was you're right. Then you're right.
Yeah.
It was, So that song applied, it applied. So
All right, so Jimmy Cheeks is walking around the tough Italian and Irish neighborhoods, and he's got Rockwell playing. I got the feeling like somebody is watching me.
I kind of bounced around. I bounced around.
He bounced around from the Irish mob to the Italian mob.
And I hung out with everyone, and I did certain things. But when I did things
because he's popular, he's gonna be. Oh my god!
The Gotti crew, I kind of kept it. They kind of knew what I was doing, but I kept it, on a down low.
All right, so the Gotti crew knew what he was doing, but he kind of kept it on a down low. Does that make any sense?
It wasn't like, I wasn't.
You weren't with no Gotti crew, you friggin' clown. Your brother was with John Gotti Jr. for 2 years, not you, Cheeks.
Living the money and sharing it with people. Yeah, I wasn't making that much, but whatever I was doing, I was keeping myself.
Yeah, I'm sure he was sharing it with people.
Yeah.
And
the fact of kicking up and answering to people.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't like the idea. Well, then why get involved with Italian wise guys? That's how the game goes. You kick up. Why again? This makes no sense. And like I said, this guy is high as a helicopter.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I had the best.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, that sounds right. Exactly. Yes. Thank you for that one. Can I have a lifeline, please?
Could say I had the best of both worlds.
He had the best of both worlds.
Getting all the, the attention and the Woody Claw from both sides.
All right, so the Italian mob and the Irish mob would just love Jimmy Cheeks, give him all the attention. This is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Which eventually led to a lot of problems with a very dangerous guy, Johnny Gebert, who happened to be very good friends with me, but it was very dangerous and unpredictable. And he started getting really jealous of me.
I shot Johnny Gebert.
And, whether it was with girls or with guys coming over to me and not him.
Oh, so yeah, all the girls wanted Jimmy Cheeks, not Gebert. Oh, my God. Look at Elephant Boy, John Merritt. Fucking Todd.
You got to remember, guys like Johnny Gebert grew up at a very, very young age in living this wild life. Mm-hmm. And my life was reluctant. So when I popped in the scene, although I was tough and I was known and I was a fighter and I was in sports and well liked, it was like,
Okay, once again, Cheeks, you were known as this fighter, tough guy, blah, blah, but you weren't known as the anorexic kid with 24 diseases who weighed 102 pounds. Like, I'm trying to understand. He's telling these stories at the same time. He was this dangerous, feared guy, gang fights. He was also 102 pounds. And he was shy. He was a little Bambi.
Once I passed him up in his eyes, it brought in a lot of jealousy.
All right. So, however, he passed Gebert up by more girls liking him. Weird, but another fucking commercial. Get this. Already not even halfway through this video, I seen 17 commercials. Boy, you really do love that $sign there.
We had some dangerous situations, me and Johnny, and I love the kid in my own way. Obviously, my brother goes on and orders a hit on him years later, Johnny Gebert. But we had some dangerous situations, me and Johnny, where we came to very close to having a problem with each other.
Damn.
And
what's that even mean? We came very close to having a problem with each other. Why? Because the girls liked you more, Cheeks? It's all fabrication.
Talk about what happened.
Can you talk about what happened? If Cheeks can remember the lies.
There was, we did a lot of things together too. We went after guys together.
We went after guys together. We picked up trannies. Yeah, of course.
Drugs together. We ran the 79th Street, the pot. It was a pot park. We were making $3,000-4,000 a night back in the early 80s.
You were selling dime bags, you shit bum. What's he talking about?
So, and that was all on dime bags.
Dime bags.
So, yeah, that was dime. That's how much of a business was built up with it.
Oh my God,
and,
this guy.
So I had all kinds of issues when I worked the park. Sometimes I would work the park instead of running it. And I got jumped a few times. One time I got jumped, like, to kill me. They had a gun and a knife to my throat. They were taking me off in the park in the middle of the night. And
Listen to
this.
this.
Pitch black up there, and there was nobody around in the middle of the winter nights. And we were open till 10. Sometimes I'd sell 12 at night.
All right, so a bunch of guys, yes, they are shameless, Angel, 100%. So I guess now these guys are taking Cheeks to a park to execute him. How is Cheeks going to get out of this? Is he going to pull his dungarees down? What's Cheeks going to do? Superhero, John Merrick, Elephant Boy, Mickey Rourke, Michael Myers, Candle Wax looking Ricky and Cheeks. How's he going to get out of this one?
And you're in the back of the woods, and basically, you're like a sitting duck. You can't carry a piece on you because undercover cops would come up all the time. So basically, you're walking there, and
but they had weapons. Like, this is
the score. But I was held up a few times where guys were going to kill me.
Well, tell the story. You just said a bunch of gang members walked you into a friggin' woods to kill you with all this stuff, and he just leaves it.
Close to killing me. I told a few stories about it, and I knew the score. I knew there were a few situations where guys came up to take me, and I stood my ground, and they backed down.
Tell the story. You just ain't guys come up to take me. Take what? Take your ass? What's he talking about?
There was 12 guys that came up one time with, muscle shirts, and they were like
12 guys came. It sounds like the Beat It thing. Just beat it. Just beat it. He's like in a Beat It video or something. These guys, this is just weird.
Looking to intimidate me, and I walk right up to them laughing.
Yeah, because Jimmy Cheeks is so tough. The anorexic guy riddled with 24 unknown diseases. 12 guys came up to him, and Cheeks just annihilates them all.
Knowing what they were doing, but I knew if there was 12 guys with muscle shirts, what are they going to do?
Muscle shirts. Maybe they wanted to do some Vito Spetaphoric stuff / Johnny Cakes to you.
If they were real serious guys, it'd be 2 or 3 guys with guns, and that would be it. It's
not real. If 12 guys took you in muscle shirts, maybe they were going to beat you up. Who knows? This guy's just a bullshitter.
Not, 12 guys don't come up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, 12. Sometimes 10, 12 people do come up and jump people, Cheeks. What are you talking about?
it's just that's not real guys that you have to worry about. Now they could fuck you up, they could kick your ass, right? But I said,
Jimmy Cheeks wasn't worried about that.
To myself, yeah, let them try. If they kick my ass, I'll figure out who they were, and we'll get them anyway.
All right, so after they kick my ass, I'll figure out who all these guys were, and we'll get them anyways. Because Jimmy Cheeks is such a man who looks for revenge and kills people. Oh my god!
So I had this cocky attitude, fuck you, like went up to their faces.
Yeah, I'm sure you went up to 12 guys in muscle shirts and wanted to beat your ass, and you're like, "Fuck you! I'm Jimmy Cheeks. I look like Liza Minnelli, and I suck pricks."
Basically challenged them, and then they backed down and they went.
Yeah, all 12 guys backed down from Jimmy Merrick.
Away.
Wow.
But I had other guys that were serious guys, that came up with guns and they were serious shit.
Wait a minute. You said you walked back there alone and punked them off alone. Now, all of a sudden, you had serious guys with guns, Cheeks?
They were the real deal. And,
wow.
They I had guys with guns.
Guns
that I chased away, believe it or not. Some guys came up with guns.
He chased people with guns away. Cheeks is a superhero, the Thing. That's what he looks like, the Thing, the superhero.
If they were real or fake, but I could just kind of see the guy, and I could tell that this guy's not going to use it. He's just full of shit.
Wow, but this is a bullshit story. Anybody pulls a gun out on you or something, you think Jimmy Cheeks was looking at them 12 guys with guns. Yeah, just take the shot. Kill me. I'm Jimmy Cheeks.
Guys that really took me that time,
Jesus Christ.
The guy with a knife and the guy with the gun, these was wild guys. And I knew they were going to take me off, but I still walked up to I just knew, but never but my body up to them, knowing that these guys are going to take, which I could have done.
I stayed and let them take my ass. I knew these guys were going to take me, so I stayed and let them take me. I suck. Creep. Cheeks is out of his mind.
My stash and just walked away and just said, fuck it. Leave it, let it go. It was the end of the night, about 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. I had to walk up to them to prove a point.
Yeah, Cheeks had to prove that point because he's such a macho man.
Boom,
Jimmy Cheeks wants to suck off a macho man. Get this tub of shit off my screen.
And so when I walked up to them, one guy came around me, hit me in the back of the head with a gun. I went down real quick. As I was trying to get up, they jumped.
I was trying to get up. He inserted something in my mouth.
The guy held a gun in my head. The other guy grabbed a dagger, a long dagger. He held it in my neck. And they, I tried to look at them a couple times, but I kind of knew who the guy was, the first guy.
What?
I knew what he looked like, I should say.
You should know what he looks like. He's in front of you, pistol whipping you, talking shit to you, putting daggers to your throat. How didn't you this is just pure fabrication, never-ending story.
And at one point he said, "You look at me one more motherfucking time, I would blow your motherfucking brains out." And I knew he was serious. And
but Cheeks didn't care. Do you know why? Because he had his brother's underwear on, Johnny's little superhero underoos. These guys are just such bullshit artists, man.
So they did what they did. They ripped me. Did
he just say they ripped him? Was Harambe there?
They ripped my pockets. They took my shit. They dragged me up the stairs into the blackness. And
into the blackness where I found the courage of Aegon Targaryen and I slew them all. Cheeks, you are mental.
I thought they were going to off me. And at the last minute, they said, fuck it. And they let me go. And I remember them saying, fuck it. And they let me go.
Why would they let such a dangerous gangster go who's going to come back and kill them, Jimmy Cheeks?
And, I went after them later. I went after them that night, trying to find out.
Oh, hear that? I went after them later. No, he went after him that night after getting pistol whipped and his ass abused and put on a onesie. Now he went. These brothers are the two biggest bullshit artists on YouTube.
Who they were, and then we caught
Look
up
at him
with them.
fixing his shirt. Look at him fixing his little pretty and pink shirt that he got in the Osh Gosh Bagosh section.
Eventually, they did it again, and we caught up with.
I think my 7-year-old niece has a shirt like that.
These guys.
Listen,
3 weeks, and then we didn't catch them, and then
he just said we caught up with them in a few weeks, and we didn't catch him.
I caught him later with my brother another time.
Then he caught him later with his brother another time. I thought you couldn't see them. He just said when they were putting daggers to his throat, he couldn't really see them.
This, the one guy.
Damn. So
The
you
one guy. What about the other 11 cheeks?
John both went after him and found him.
Well, we went after him with Johnny Gabbett and all the rest of the team the first time. Then my brother was involved too. And
so how many times did you go look for these people, Cheeks?
We couldn't find them. We went after them a couple times, and then me and my brother finally did on our own. And we caught up with them. We got some street justice.
We got some street justice. Yeah, okay, Cheeks.
Damn.
Look at him. Damn shit. Hold on, let me pack another bowl.
So after that, after going through all the the pot dealing and doing the business there.
Yeah, all the dime bags he sold. This is just fucking horrendous.
What other activities were kind of going on at that point?
Oh, we were doing.
Look at Cheeks. We were doing stripper parties. We were doing old men in Buicks. Like, oh, Cheeks.
Yeah, we were doing. We had the bookie business.
Bookie business.
Booking, doing some loan sharking.
Some loan sharking now. For who? The Italian mob or the Irish mob, Cheeks?
Yeah.
Booking, shaking down some clubs, making a few dollars, but not a lot, making money.
Yeah. Anybody ever know of an anorexic guy with 20 forms of cancer going to shake down clubs? What the fuck is he talking about?
Doing, my brother did big time coke. I did little small things with coke. I got into it, and
Jesus,
I kind of did it for a while, and I wasn't doing it by any means any big time shit, but dabbled with it.
So you used a little coke. You weren't a coke dealer. You used a little coke. What is he talking about? I'm waiting for him to say he met Pablo Escobar.
Like I said, I would say, small time, nothing big. And then just your normal helping people out with problems, getting paid to help other people out with issues, and, things like.
Yeah, he's helping. People would come to Jimmy Cheeks to help them out with problems. This is fucking nuts.
Of that nature.
Another commercial. See, I can't
make the workspace
candles,
bright
man.
with up to 50% off select items from Very.
Come on, dude. How many commercials do you need in ads? Jesus, Fango.
I kind of made a decision at some point that without going into all the crazy stories, and we could talk about.
Why not go into the crazy stories? Because they don't exist, Cheeks.
If you want, but I made a decision about 26 to leave that life, and I became a stockbroker.
So now here becomes the Wolf of Wall Street. So up until 26 years old, he was an Irish, Italian gangster, the whole nine. This guy's a demented fuck.
The infamous boiler room, JT Moran. You would know.
He always brags about this boiler room shit. He was a nobody in there. This is all bullshit.
That was the sister company with Jordan, and so I was a vice president. I was.
Yeah. So, and how long did you do that?
I only did it for it seemed longer. When you're young, it seems longer than it is. But I only did it for 2.5, 3 years. I mean, that was the,
Yeah, it's good that you say that, Angel, because in the Frank Morano video, none of these fabrications and these lies ever came up. These were all invented over the last year and a half by the Alite brothers.
the goose. That was the golden egg. I was just happy to excel as a stockbroker. That was just my thing.
Yeah.
And we were wild. I mean, the broker term was wild. And
we were wild. We were blowing horses. We were dressing up as Caitlin. This guy is just out of his mind.
I was kind of like the head. I was behind the scenes, like sort of like the head guy.
So wait a minute. I was behind the scenes, sort of like the head guy.
The go-to guy, I guess you would say.
The go-to guy.
And I had the girls, and
he had the girls. He had the yachts. This guy is so full of himself. Cheeks, I'm glad that your parents keep you in the same room that you're always in, and you're never let out. Your tri-bisexual brother travels the world with old, dirty old men, and they don't take you with them.
The fighting and making the money, and it was just a wild time.
Oh, thanks, Robert.
It was just, and it was so much more fun than being on the street, to be honest with you. It was just a lot more fun. No rules, no regulations. I was still affiliated with those guys and went out with them once in a while and did things.
Oh, you just said you changed your life and got away from the evil Irish and Italian mafia. But now you're still hanging. Oh my God, Cheeks.
But if I go to a club, Stringfellows or any big club, they all knew who I was.
They all knew who Jimmy Cheeks was, the little anorexic guy who got PTSD from a 7th grade fight. Which bats that, they did the bat stuff, Like what?
At the Red Sea. They would say, Jimmy Alite's here. And
hey guys, stop the press. Vicky Vale. Stop the press. Jimmy Alite's here, folks. He's here. Him and all 102 pounds of himself.
He just carried a lot of weight because of Gotti. And
his name carried a lot of weight because of Gotti. Oh my God. Like the connections you had to the Gotti was John Gotti Jr. Like, thanks, Carol. You were in John Gotti Jr.'s crew for 2 years. Not you, Jimmy, your goofy brother. And then once your brother started, I believe, trying to shake down drug dealers using Gotti Jr.'s name, Gotti Jr. slapped the dog shit out of your brother and chased him out of that neighborhood. It's like you didn't know Gotti's father, neither did your brother. You've never had no interactions. You weren't their hitmen, so stop it, dickhead.
Just the name itself, my last name carried a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So
Alite, cat number one, like I told everybody for years, he went around saying his name was Johnny Aletto to sound Italian. So how would Alite? They carried no weight. They said maybe they carried 102 pounds of Jimmy. That's about it.
People would do all kinds of things to, get
thanks,
to reach you. If you walked into any club, you were just like, you were the shit, and that's how it was.
He was the shit.
But I didn't really care for that, to be honest with you, that much. I mean, to me, like, I just kind of didn't need that extra stuff, but
yeah, you did, and you still do need that extra stuff to come on here and bullshit Cheech and Chong, just to act like you're something. You're a very insecure, weird little malcontent, and you still need these fucking bullshit lies. Wow, you have no identity, do you, Cheeks?
Like a lot of times, I'd like to get away from that, where no one knew me, and just go to a place where no one was going to know you.
Because anywhere Jimmy Cheeks went in New York, everybody knew him. So Jimmy Cheeks had to leave state because he was just so sick of everybody coming up to him and worshiping him. Cheeks, man, you are a habitual liar. And you're number one, like I said, go to the Shadow of My Father page, and you'll see Jimmy Cheeks right on that page. My brother is a bullshitter. He's a liar. He went on the Morano show, that guy's show, and said his brother was the biggest bullshit liar around.
And no one was going to recognize you, and you were just going to do your own thing.
Jesus.
And I did. A lot of times I did do things like that. You know, go to TGI Fridays where basically, you know, or this club or that small club where you could kind of sneak in, pick up girls, have fun.
So you could kind of sneak in, and would you wear disguises or something? You didn't want people to know who you were? This is weird. Once again, throwing the girls thing in there.
No one knew who you were.
Yeah,
And,
that's true. I mean, it's gotta be you know, a little annoying or whatever. After a while, you just kind of want your own peace and just.
No, pal. Jimmy Alite would have loved. This is a lie. He would have loved if he walked in place. He'd be like, "Hey, that's Jimmy Alite. You know, that little featherweight. That's Jimmy, the little princess." It never happened.
Yeah, you do. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys liked it. You know, the other guys, you know, like it. Me personally, I didn't need it. You know, I got my own. You know, I did my own thing. I made my own money. I got my own girls.
You didn't do your own thing. You just said you were part of Irish, Italian crews, this and that. This guy's bullshit.
I had my own fights. I didn't need the extra. It wasn't necessary.
Right.
Yeah,
but it was nice that, you know, when I was younger, when I was 21, 22, 23, you know, it was nice, but it ran its course for me.
No, it still hasn't ran its course because here you are, Liza Minnelli, up on here bullshitting this guy.
You know, and
sick puppy. Another commercial. Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's me. You're dry.
Oh, fuck off my screen, you lizard.
You know, I was with
Fucking
my
iguana.
brother and John Jr. a lot, and I was with all the. I knew all the guys. They all knew me. I knew them.
Yeah, he knew all the wise. All the wise guys knew him. Bullshit. All
Not
lies.
everyone, but I knew them socially and, you know, in other ways.
All right, so it goes from I knew them all, I knew everyone, but not everyone. I just knew them socially.
And I got along with everyone.
Yeah, that's Johnny Aleto's little Fenoic brother over here, the 102-pound little 14-year-old volleyball player looking son of a bitch.
Very, very well for the most part.
That's good.
But
that's a great
point. Johnny,
David. I love what David says right here. The more Jimmy Cheeks talks, the more he contradicts himself.
When he did his first murder with, or I think it was his first murder for John Gotti Jr.
Yeah, I think it was my brother's first murder. Unbelievable. Nobody believed your brother on the stand, dude. Okay, none of the jurors believed him. Nobody believed him because your brother's a fucking liar.
Grasso. I went with Johnny after the hit.
Listen to this.
To identify the body. I followed him.
What does that even mean? I went with Johnny after the hit to identify the body. What does that even mean? Like, if they killed the guy, they knew who he killed. Let's say if it is true, which it's not. Why would you need to go identify the body? This makes no sense.
John Gotti Jr. to where the body was.
All right, so he's trying to say he took Gotti Jr. and his gay brother to the body that Aleto shot to identify him. This makes no sense.
It was roped off all over the place, and it was police.
So why would you go back to the scene of the crime, you fucking liar?
It's all over. It was a mess. And that's when John Gotti Jr. made his bones. That was when he got his bones.
All right. How would John Gotti Jr. make his bones if your brother shot the kid? Is it making your bones that you're supposed to do it yourself? These lies are just unbelievable.
Oh, from after that.
That was the hit. Yeah, that my brother did.
And so how did he get the button then?
How did he get the button? Then his brother never. You know what kind of button his brother had? A Girl Scout cookie button.
Well, because he had Johnny do it, my brother, and that was like, you know, his guy. Yeah.
Does that make any sense, folks? Wow.
So my brother had wanted to see body, and
what?
You know, my brother didn't want to go back there, obviously.
All right, so he's trying to tell you that Gotti Jr. had Alite whack some guy out and then went to the Alite brothers and said, bring me back to the scene of the crime so Jimmy can identify the body? Who's buying this? Come on, Cheech, Marin, are you buying this, bro? But this guy, he's just another person who just got 1,000 commercials on their thing, money signed, all about the bucks. They don't care who's lying, who's not lying.
So I followed them. John didn't know I followed him.
What?
John
Really?
Jr. No.
So he's stalking Gotti Jr., following him now? This is some weird stuff.
No. I told my brother I was going to follow him. And he goes, all right, well, I said, I'm not letting you go to it by yourself. So
wait a minute. I'm not going to let you go to the guy you just killed's body. And I thought you were supposed to identify it. So how this makes no fucking sense.
they turned down from John's house. My brother picked up John Gotti Jr. I followed them, stayed behind them with a gun, followed them all the way, basically.
What?
A car, 2 cars behind them. I kept my distance.
But you said they didn't.
It was right there.
God.
And I wanted to be there, not knowing, what to expect when they saw the body. So I just wanted.
What do you think? What do you mean, not knowing what to expect when they saw the body? This makes no sense.
Be there just in case something happens. I didn't expect it, to be honest with you.
What could happen? The cops arrest him. He's going to say he had a pistol on him. What, he was going to shoot it out with the cops?
I didn't expect anyone to try to kill my brother, but I didn't know.
How are they going to kill your brother going to a crime scene? They're going to the crime scene that your brother just shot somebody, supposedly. You're going to the crime. This makes no sense.
And I just wanted to be there. And, I was carrying a piece. And
he was carrying a pistol to shoot it out with all the cops? What's he talking about?
Whatever. In my car, just in case.
Yeah, Del.
So you always kind of...
He's got a deformed face because when he was walking out of the house, he fell and hit his cheek. And that's why he has the cheek deformity, Jimmy Cheek. You just don't smack someone and chase them if they killed someone for you, dummy. Exactly. It makes no sense. They're out of their minds. He's out.
I really looked out for your brother, when
you really looked out for your brother. Look at Cheeks. Look at Jenna. Oh my God. And now that the lights are off, I want you to focus on the makeup. He's got makeup caked on his face, man. That shit is caked on his face. This looks like some blush. You got mascara.
Took care of him, make sure he's all right.
Yeah, there was a problem that he had back when we were, I guess it was in the 1991 or 1990 when his father just had gone in for a couple and John Jr. was running the show at that time. I think he was the boss. And
another commercial. Oh, come
struggling to write,
dude. God. Richie said he
was the acting boss, I believe, for that period of time. And he was a captain.
Acting boss, if you believe, I thought I thought you were in their gang, in their crew.
At the time, but I think at that point he was also the acting boss.
Hear what he just said? I think he was a captain at the time, but I also think he was the acting boss. What the fuck? Which is it?
I'm not 100%, but I believe he was.
Well, you're not 100% on much, Jimmy.
And I hadn't seen John in a few years because I was doing my own thing.
And he's got Tammy Faye cheeks, Tammy Faye Baker. Look at them shine. Shine light on.
My brother was having problems with those guys because my brother was, had problems with Junior, as you probably know.
Yeah.
And they were very powerful at the time. So I went and I had to, kind of push myself into a sit down with Junior.
He pushed himself into a sit down with Junior. No, dude, what happened was he beat your brother up and slapped him in the mouth and kicked him out of the neighborhood. And you were gone too, you little anorexic slut.
Over my brother. And, it was one of those deals where they thought my brother was either ratting.
Yeah, they thought your brother was rat, and your brother is a rat. He was a rat. He was a rat.
You know, selling
and
coke.
Still is.
And I put my ass on the line.
He put his life on. He's trying to tell you that. I guess Gotti Jr. in his mind is thinking that his brother's a rat or whatever, which he was. So Jimmy went down and put his life on the line for his brother. This just gets crazy.
There's no way he's fucking ratting. And there's no
What's
way.
up, Sean? How's your mom doing?
He's selling coke. You know, he's got no money, but there's no way he's ratting right now.
No, there's no way Johnny Alite would rat. Whoa, wow. Johnny Alite ratting?
You think he's ratting, might as well kill me.
Yeah, imagine him saying that. If you think my brother's ratting, you better kill me because he gave me a tuggy.
So when we were walking and talking on 101st Avenue, me and John, and actually it was a very nice catching up meeting with him, and you know, it was very cordial and very, you know.
Oh, good, Sean, good. I go to church tomorrow. I'll light a candle.
Very friendly, but I went down there not knowing what to expect, and went down there on my brother's behest. My brother never knew I went down there, but I went down on my own.
This is such bullshit.
Because I was.
So did he call it off after that? Then I'm assuming, like he was.
Well,
no drama?
yeah, it was a lot of tension right at that time.
What?
And so I was going down to kind of like kind of in a counselor's role, I guess you would say.
A counselor's role?
And he said, you know, we ended it really well. John was happy to see me. I could see that. And I met a bunch of my other friends that were in the club when I met them. So it was, you know, it was kind of nice too, because I got to.
Wait a minute, you're just saying you're going down to try to save your brother's life, and this makes no sense.
To see everybody again.
To see everybody again, yeah, they all love Jimmy. Oh my god.
So
after not seeing him for a few years, you know. And
yeah, that's right. He's just making shit up on the fly. That's exactly what he's doing. Just making shit up on the fly. He's insane. Tracy says, whoever this kid interviewing Cheeks is, which have 2 times, it's all about the money. He's got about 1,000 ads on his stupid video right here with a top notch. But you should do your research. I don't know who you are, dude. You should do your research on these stool pigeon liars that join your stream.
You go there.
Yeah.
Trying to settle something.
Yeah. It was
Fucking shoot.
Weird, because in one sense, when I got there, it was like memories, you know, of all your friends, and then at the same time, it was a dangerous situation.
Well,
yeah, that was going on.
Bullshit.
Who knows what could even happen to you? You know, trying to approach him like that. I mean, you know, maybe
you don't know what
to pissed off. Yeah.
Well,
you know,
Jimmy pushed in for that sit down. Ridiculous.
Who knows what the hell could happen? So yeah, that was a risky thing. But I mean, you were just trying to look out for your brother, and you know, it sounds like you've always done.
No, he's not always done that. He's when Johnny kicked him, Johnny wouldn't let him sleep at Mommy Aleto's house a few years ago, and he went and told the truth about it. The only time Jimmy Alite told the truth is when he went and told everybody that his brother was lying about all the Gotti mob stuff and the friendships and the lie. His brother, he even said his brother's the biggest liar, biggest embellisher and bullshitter.
That, you know, always try to take care of him and, you know, help him out through whatever it is. I mean,
another commercial. Jesus Christ.
I find brilliant gifts at Saks.com.
Definitely there.
Oh my God. Oh my
The holiday season's in full swing, and Dick's Sporting Goods and Golf Galaxy have the best holiday gifts for the golfer on.
Fuck off my screen.
you know, throughout the years, I'm sure you guys had your own arguments and beef.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
Tuggies for tendies. Do you know about that, pal? Huh? Whatever your name is, Lily, I don't know. Do you know that John Alite told Jimmy, if you keep saying this about me, I'm going to tell everybody you jerked me off when we were kids? Ask him about that. There's proof of it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But at the end of the day, you know, it's my brother. I love him. And I'm always going to be there. And, whether it's in counseling, whether it's in physical, whatever, I think he needs, I'm going to be there for him.
Look at him shine. Look at the fucking makeup shining off Cheeks' face now that he dimmed the lights. Jimmy Cheeks, turn off the lights, because Brother John is going to make it good. If you do tuggies for tendies for me, yeah, I don't know. This guy's a fucking retard, man.
And, hopefully vice versa and, whatever. So, you do things for people you love. You don't think about the consequences yourself. You just kind of do what you need to do. You step in front of situations that are very dangerous. You step in front of them because that's what you do. You don't. If you have to think about it, then I guess it's not natural. You wouldn't do it.
What's up, Trump sisters? What's up, Stephen, Tracy, Sean?
I'm sure you would do that for your kids, and you'd step in front of the board for them. Right. So like that, demented. I guess.
Yeah. So after so I was going to kind of talk about after all that, you eventually turned your life around, I guess. And did you ever go to like jail or prison or anything like that before?
No, he can't say yes and no. Watch what he says.
You have
just a lot of, to be honest with you, a lot of fights. I had some fights with cops, beat me up. Cops arrested me. Some terroristic threats during certain times where may have threatened somebody, and they had me taped, or they were listening to.
Had him taped? What is he talking about?
Somebody else on the other line listening.
Terroristic threats, like.
So I had things like that.
Right.
But
I found a small rodent in my ass one night, and I woke up and I seen Johnny and Michael Dowd smiling. Like, what?
I never got caught with, I always got away with anything.
Of course, Slick Jim over here, John Merrick, Elephant Boy, gets away with everything. Michael Myers, he never got caught. Well,
like drug related or sports and things like that. These are not big time things. Sports is not a big time thing really.
What?
Unless they try to get you for, loan sharking, then it's a big thing.
Well, you were a loan shark or a bookie.
They're not really, and of course the drugs are big, and I could have gotten caught with drugs many times. I just got lucky.
Yeah, he hustled a lot of dime bags.
Never got caught with a gun. Didn't carry a gun that often, but.
You just said that you carried guns. Well, now it's not that often. How many times before Jimmy Cheeks said he never carried guns, never used guns, and a bunch of interviews. He was always the baseball player. He never wanted to go down that road. But now Irish gangsters, Italian gangsters, like what?
I did just never got busted, never got caught. So. I would say it was a lot of luck. I got a lot of luck.
Yeah, you're a very lucky guy there, Jim. Very lucky guy, Cheeks. But I would say you're very unlucky in the looks category, Liza Minnelli.
On my side, that it kind of seems like I got through a lot of things without anything major, at least with the law, anyway.
Because you're full of shit, Jimmy. Another commercial. Dude, how many? This guy must have 20 commercials in the studio.
As experts in online education, Purdue University Global gives you all the flexibility you need.
My screen, Candace. What's up, Mobland?
And so I was so.
What's up, Red Dog? Yeah, self-proclaimed terrorist Otis. This guy's crazy, dude.
Also. That I did so many things with so many different types of people.
But he never got caught, and he was always so slick and so smart.
It didn't, like, if I was just with, like, a certain crew, like if I was with my brother and those guys doing things all the time, which I wasn't, it would be easy. He fought this guy, he did this with this guy.
But he was a freelancer. He worked for the Irish mob. It's just not.
Whatever. But I wasn't like that. I was like, one day here, 5 days with the Irish guys.
5 days with the Irish mob, 4 days with the Italian mob, 3 days with the gay mob. Come on.
So 6 days with other guys doing something. I was all over the place. And
he was all over the place as an anorexic, 102-pound shy little Bambi Gimp.
A lot of times people don't even know me. I never mentioned my name to anybody.
I never mentioned my name to anybody.
So, like,
Really?
if we got a good beef or a situation, I didn't say, you know who I am. By the way, you want to know who I am? I never did that. I just went, it was just, that was it. We went down. We fought. Whatever.
What?
And the consequences later on, whatever, if I needed to go, after them.
If he needed to go out, did you ever go after any of them? Like, he said he got street justice on the 12 muscle shirt guys who put guns to his head and pistol whipped him.
But I never was the type of guy to say, or somebody else go up to him that was with me and say, hey, by the way, that's Jimmy.
That's who you are right now. You're literally on live streams and podcasts bragging about your name, your brother's name, these lies about being connected to gangsters and all this shit.
I didn't want to do. A lot of guys tell me a lot of times, hey, you don't know who the fuck you're talking to, and I would laugh at them. I don't give a fuck who I'm talking to.
I don't give a fuck. I'm 102 pounds.
Like, but I would never say who I was. I would say, oh,
I'm Jimmy Alite. Who the fuck would have known what Jimmy Alite was? Because, like I told you, Johnny Alite went around with the last name Aleto.
I didn't like that. I just wanted to deal with people my own and just, whatever.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
No, I mean, it's good, that you didn't, because then it gives them less of a chance to come and find you, or,
What?
Well, I didn't want to be a pussy, to be honest with you. I didn't want to me, that was like a pussy move. It was like, telling people who you are and just like, getting out of fight. You guys are going to go down and want to fight with me. They're going to fight. I'm going to fight. That's it. And then wherever the chips fall, we'll see. You know what I mean? But I didn't like to play that not name thing. No.
That's what you're playing right now, you big chooch.
You didn't name drop.
He looks like a fucking wax figure in a wax museum.
No, didn't name drop my own name.
Didn't name drop my own name. He, he, he. Look at the shiny cheeks on Jimmy.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But yeah, it was funny because I did hear that in reverse a lot of times. When there's a lot of times you walk up to guys and they don't think you're going to walk up. It's just you or just you and another guy, or just you against 3 or 4 or 5 or 2. They think, what's this guy doing walking up to us? Like, why is he back the other way?
Cheeks is a very insecure man, and he'll hit on all the women on YouTube and Instagram. That's what happened with Tanya. Like I said, he hit Tanya up and he was sending these fake pictures. So Tanya started sending Gigi Gorgeous pictures. And Jimmy was, I don't want to be perverted, but he was touching himself to these pictures of Gigi Gorgeous, and Gigi Gorgeous is a transformer.
Right? Because this happened so many times, countless and countless of times. And more than I can tell you, 90% of the times, guys would back away from him. Literally.
Well, maybe they thought you had AIDS, Jimmy, because he's going to say that. Listen.
Back away. And it's not that I'm bragging. It's just that it's just a weird.
No, you are bragging, Jimmy. You are bragging. And you're bragging about lies, things that never happened, fictitious little stories that come out of the mind of Elephant Boy John Merrick himself, wearing mascara, cover up, gloss, blush.
And my brother will tell you how many.
Yeah, my brother will tell you. Yeah. Yeah, there's the oracle of fucking truth.
Can't count how many times this has happened.
Because they knew you wouldn't be fucking around.
Tell us about the time you told us how your brother was so full of shit.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe they could see something in your eyes that you're not afraid. And
yeah, I'm sure they looked into Jimmy Cheeks' eyes and realized he wasn't afraid. All 102 pounds of him. Disgusting.
Why is this guy not afraid? I don't know. I mean, to this day, I'm not quite sure.
I mean, it makes you kind of think more. Oh, this guy's coming up to me when there's 12 of us and there's only one of him. There's a reason he's acting like this.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's one-on-one, sometimes 2-on-1, sometimes 3, 4, whatever. But yeah, if I got it in my frauds that these guys wanted to fuck with me, and they were like, we take that really, like, I take things like that, like, really personally. If a guy tries to, like, I used to take it really, I should say. Hopefully I don't take it like that anymore as much.
Oh, you'll take it, Cheeks. You'll take it any way that you can get it, pal.
But, back in the day, if you're doing something cocky with me, or you're trying to get cute, and you're with a few guys, and you're trying to, like, whatever.
Like how Michael Dowd gets cute with your brother in the motel rooms in Greece?
No, I'm not, you're not getting away with it. It's going to be, we're thrown down. Like, that's just the way it is. In fact, when my brother got out of jail, I just had kidney cancer not too soon.
How many different kinds of cancers has he had over the years?
So my brother got out of jail.
And your brother kicked you out of the house. That's what happened. He kicked you out of Mommy Aleto's house.
I'm talking about when his last time he got out of jail. I had kidney cancer probably about a few months before he got out. So I had been cut open and everything. And me, him, and my nephew went to a bar, and they all knew us at this bar. We went to like a PJ Willahan's bar, regular. It's like a club bar. It was no big deal. And I was sick. I was still sick, still recovering from the kidney cancer and all these autoimmune diseases. And Johnny,
so he's got kidney cancer, all these something immune diseases, and great point. What everybody just said. Hey, Cheeks, what happened to the Coming to God podcast? Exactly. What happened to it? Nothing. His brother lied to him. Jimmy Cheeks is the most boring man on the planet.
Acquainted himself with everyone, knows him and knows me, and whatever.
Wow.
And I'm sitting by the bar, and these guys say something to me.
Another fuck. Oh my God, this guy's channel.
What's an ex-mafia cop doing in Tulsa?
Very complicated.
Fuck off, my.
So.
Yeah, he's the boy in the bubble boy.
And I'm like, I'm thinner. I'm sick. I'm probably really pale. I only went out because my nephew and my brother really.
Right now, listen to this. He's pale. He's sick. All this stuff, but he chokes some guy and beats them up.
So, I grabbed the guy by the wrist.
Listen,
one guy, and I said, "What'd you say?
Are you sure you didn't grab him by the wrist and say, hey, come into the bathroom with me. My brother will do something to you. Like, come in the bathroom. My brother will give you a tuggy."
You being a wise ass with me, or are you trying to be serious? Like, what are you trying to do? Because I didn't know where he was coming from.
And I bet you scared everybody, 102-pound self.
No, I just thought you were somebody I knew. I said, all right. So I went over and I talked to the bouncer that knew me. He was the head bouncer there, this guy Tommy. I would tell him, you see those two guys over there? Those three, actually 3 of them. And he goes, yeah. I go, do you know them? He goes, yeah. I go, are they wise asses or are they good guys? He goes, no, they're wise asses. He goes, this guy's a troublemaker and this guy's trying. And so I go, really? I go, yeah. And I tell him what he says. I go, so this guy was being a wise ass? He goes, yeah, he's definitely being a wise ass. So I said, all right. So I went back to the guy. And the guy, and I'm sick. And the guy's a big guy. One guy was big. The other 2 guys were, whatever, normal size. I go, and I invite them outside. I go, come on, let's go. And they're looking at me, and I don't realize the whole place is watching this, when you're so focused in.
So basically, you're handyman now, like a superhero guy. This is just nuts, man.
But you don't realize that other people are watching you because you don't realize you're loud or whatever's going on. You think it's just like an intimate conversation.
The emaciated queen, Jimmy Alite, is beating up the bar and scaring people. This is just insanity.
And then I step back and I realize like the whole place is almost like looking at me. And I'm
Of course they're looking at you. You're 102 pounds. And look at your cheeks. Look at your face. Mickey Rock. Or Rooney, whatever the hell his name is. Or Mickey Rock.
These guys to come the fuck outside.
And they were scared.
And these guys are smiling. What are you fucking smiling at? Come outside and let's handle this like men.
Look at the Vaseline all over his fucking face.
And then my brother catches on. He sees what's going on. And then we start fighting. We're having our own civil war because he's like, this is the last thing.
All right, so the little brothers are having a civil war in there. This is weird.
I just got out of prison. But, you know, so shit like that, you know. And then they call of course, the kids, the guys that started the fight, want to call the cops.
Because they're so scared of the 102-pound guy.
They're afraid, so they call the cops. But I'm out of there by the time the cops come. But
yeah, because you're Flash Gordon. You're so fast, Cheeks.
I walk out and walking across in the street because I had my car across the other way, not in the main parking lot. It was packed. I see all the cops coming. So I'm laughing. I'm walking with my nephew at this point. And I don't know where my brother was, to be honest with you.
Your brother was blowing two guys in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Probably got the hell out of there.
he was someplace else. He got into, you know, his thing. He had two cars.
He got into his thing in the bathroom.
So, anyways, but yeah, it's funny.
You ever get in any trouble for that?
Of course not. Cheeks was too slick. Cheeks was too fast, too smart.
No,
luckily not.
You know,
amazingly, no. I didn't get into no trouble for that.
You know, a lot of fights, they turned out to like, you know, misdemeanors, you know, drop down to misdemeanors.
Wow.
You know, it's hard, you know, a lot of times no witnesses, you know, you don't know who started, you know, the cops. Right. So they arrest you originally and then they let you go. So shit like that, nothing that you would consider to be like anything serious. Like you're talking about nonsense, you know, nonsense convictions, like bullshit. Nothing that would put you in jail, except for, like I said, there was some things that I could have got caught for. I ran a couple guys over one time.
Listen to this now. Jimmy Cheeks is a hit and run kind of guy. He's running people over. Listen.
With my car. They didn't get killed.
I know what you did last summer. Jimmy Cheeks ran over that guy.
But, you know,
how'd you get away with that? Well, because it never happened.
You know, these guys, I think they were hooked up with somebody and they started with me. It was a really bad time for me. At the time,
I was sucking off my neighbor Javier. This makes no sense. Ran over the guy. This makes no sense.
Thought I had HIV.
I thought they had HIV. I wonder why.
50-50 kind of thing. This was like going back to with Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm. And all us guys got paranoid because we said, oh, heterosexual guys get AIDS. Oh my God, you know, all the girls I've been with, and, you know, everyone.
All the girls Cheeks loved before were figments of his imagination and walked out his door. Oh my God, Cheeks, you Bruce Jenner looking freak, Cheeks.
When you tease me because I was with a lot of girls.
Yeah, people. That's just for people. They tease guys who are with a lot of girls. Like, come on, Cheeks.
Round, you better be careful.
GG, gorgeous doesn't count, Cheeks.
And I went to the doctors. They did a T-cell test on me. They go, and I went to a bunch of infectious disease.
Because he always loved going to the doctors to get his anal probe. He always likes prostate exams. Jimmy's favorite thing is prostate exams. He does 2 a month.
Guys, there was a 50-50 shot. You got AIDS. And I go, what? They go, it's a 50-50 shot. And but you know, the good news is you're not gay. You're not a needle user.
The good news is you're not gay. You're not a needle user. Like, this guy's out of his
head. The chances of you having it were very, very slim to nothing. But now that you're
why would they? Oh, this makes no
testing out like this, you know, and you have all these symptoms, we have to say it's about a 50-50. This is after they got rid of all the other potential diagnoses, like cancer or this or that.
But I So you did have cancer, Cheeks. I thought you had 3 or 4 different kinds of cancers. You had shrinking bone disease, anorexia, bulimic, sucking a prick on a Friday. Cheeks, you got some problems. Jimmy Cheeks got the feeling like someone's rear-ending me.
All these other things.
Look at him going to hit his weed again. Where my weed at?
So it was like a 50-50 kind of deal. And these guys, I just lost my stockbroker's license. I lost my Jaguar. I was riding.
He lost his stockbroker license, his Jaguar, when he was the Wolf of Wall Street. No, bitch. You were the Gimp of Wall Street, okay? You were Vito Spetafor in Chaps with Johnny Cakes.
Rent a car. And these guys pulled up with this van, these 2 guys. I was going to get out, and I was looking for a crowbar in the back seat.
He was going to get out looking for a crowbar, because crowbars, he gets to pry Vito Spetafor's ass wide open. Oh, my God. Now he's got crowbars. Cheeks is a dangerous little kitten.
And, you know, we had, back in the day, there was always crowbars in the back seat.
It was always crowbars because, you know, Johnny liked to pry open the jaws of Michael Dodd when he was clinched on him.
Just to carry it around.
Another commercial. Oh, my God. Get the fuck off my screen.
With that? Yeah, you know, a battery crowbar, but you know, it was a rental car.
Yeah, I used to carry my crowbar everywhere.
So,
this guy's looking for his little buds on the floor or his pipe. Who knows what's going on?
It was,
look at Cheeks checking out that backside. Cheeks, look at Cheeks, very focused. Jimmy, he sees something he likes. Jimmy likes it.
Yeah, no worries. And there was nothing there, and I was going to get out, and I said, fuck this, I'll just run these guys over.
Fuck this, I'll just run them over. And I never get caught because I'm so cool.
The guy said, what are you going to run us over? And as soon as he said that, I put it in drive. I ran him because he didn't expect.
How does it even work? The guy's what? You're talking through him, you're in your car, he's screaming. I said, what, are you going to run me over? And Cheeks decides to run them over.
And then I put it in reverse, and you know, I hit his friend, but I just
so Cheeks puts it in reverse and runs him over again. Oh my God, Cheeks.
On the foot, he went down, and then I just realized everyone was watching me. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon.
He didn't get arrested. All these people watching Cheeks run people over, back over them, but Cheeks never gets arrested.
And it was at the end of my block, and I had a dead end block. It's on Forest Parkway.
This guy's looking. I don't know what he's looking for. He misplaced his sativa. I don't know.
And
what year was that? Was there not a bunch of cameras and shit around?
Exactly. Yeah. Where's the cameras? Not only that, well, all the witnesses, all them people see you run someone over and you didn't kill them. When you run someone over and then back over them, it's a good shot that they're going to the ICU.
No cameras, but people were staring. They were like staring with their mouths open. They couldn't believe what they were watching.
But they were too scared to talk about Alite because, you know, Albanian mob, Russian mob, Irish mob, poodle mob.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, and then I pulled away slowly, and I got their plate number.
Wait a minute. You pulled away slowly and got their plate number? I thought you're the one in the car, Cheeks.
And I wrote it down. I literally pulled away, didn't leave.
Why would you write their plate number down? Does this make any sense? You just run 2 guys over and you want to get their license plate? This makes no sense.
Plate number down on the van. It was a commercial van they had. I remember that, and they had Pennsylvania plates. So to this day, I remember that. And I took their plate number, and then I drove off.
Damn.
I never seen them again.
Of course not.
No,
because they were figments of Cheeks' imagination.
Was going to look them up and do it, but never did.
He was going to look them up and whack them all out and kill them all, but you know, Jimmy Cheeks got anorexia.
Let it go. Moved on. You know, I mean, the good thing is that I was so close to the guys with the car that they just got shaken up. They didn't, I was boxed in really kind of with the car. There's really no place.
Does that
for me
make
to go.
sense? They didn't yell. What?
So when I hit them, it was very close to my car, and it was a small rental car. So I'm sure I didn't do much damage.
You ran someone over with a car. I'm sure you didn't do much. He's trying to play it down now because people are like, well, why didn't the cops get called on you, Cheeks?
Guy, I think I just maybe caught his foot.
Oh, now it's his foot. You said you ran him over and backed over him. Now it's the foot.
But they were, they were white because they didn't expect it. They were scared.
They were white, huh?
No.
I caught him off guard, I guess.
He caught him off guard. No, they're literally yelling at you, yelling back at them. I can't follow this story, Cheeks is saying.
Jesus. I mean, well, at least, I'm sure if you never heard anything about it, I would assume.
Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit, fucking money guy.
I'm sure they were all right. Listen, I was expecting cops to be at my house.
Yeah, that's why you took their license plate, dickhead.
Because I figured they got the plate. Yeah, when I came back 3 hours later, I said, fuck it, I'm just going to come back.
All right, so he goes to the scene of the crime. Like, this makes no sense.
What am I going to do? I was in the middle of, a health crisis, this, that. I was in
So at the time he's running these people over, he's in the middle of this big health crisis. What the
fucking mood? Lord, like, was like, there was just a lot of shit that hit me. Fuck it. Back and I assumed I was going to see police in front of my house. That was my assumption. But I saw nothing. So I pulled in. I actually pulled the car to either my driveway or right in front of my house. And I said, fuck it. And, not happened. Nothing. So that's a true story.
Yeah, see, that's a true story. Unlike all the other stories I told. This is bullshit.
Nobody fault.
And yeah, I noticed that too, Tracy. Cheeks' sleeves keep getting shorter and shorter. He keeps rolling them up.
Yeah, I had luck on my son.
Yeah, well, at least you ain't gotta probably worry about shit like that no more now that you're out of that and doing your own thing now. And
out of what? See, this guy's really fooled thinking Cheeks was some Irish Italian mobster.
Just steering away from all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all
He's all about God now, folks.
Trying to bring people together.
Bring people together. Another commercial.
This holiday season, give them what they really want. A smoother running, longer lasting vehicle. Give the gift of gun.
Dude, how do you have so many commercials in your friggin' video? Ads. Fucking money grubbing freak. These people are just ridiculous, honestly, with all of their stupid commercials. When I watch a channel and I see all these commercials, I unsub and leave automatically, man. I can't do it. I can't deal with it. I just can't.
They were fun at a certain time in my life. They were dangerous. They were little adrenaline rushes. But, you grow up, hopefully, and you learn from all these experiences. And you learn that mostly people, even guys that are bad guys, they all got good parts to them. Everyone's got good sides to them. And you try to look at the best in other people and accept their flaws. And hopefully
once again, look at the fucking makeup on this guy's face.
Accept your flaws. And, you don't take things the way you did at one point in your life. You take things lightly. You laugh things off.
Wait, what, Kid Rock? Tonto did a home invasion in Florida with that girl? No way.
You try to make friends with
Not
people.
Shocked.
You try to, at least that's what I try to do. And I found God.
You found God.
And I had a spiritual teacher that did all kinds of miracles for me.
Yeah, he says he has some spiritual guru. There's some Jimmy Cheeks guru, spiritual teacher that performed 6 or 7 miracles to heal Cheeks.
Died many times. And,
What's up,
I know
Steven?
we're probably running a little late, but maybe at another time we could talk about some of the.
No, he doesn't want to talk about your stupid and your fake God stories about being healed by gurus.
These are real miracles, things that I knew before, and these are not like some bullshit, like
It's just not like the bullshit I'm feeding you and shit like that. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it no more. Between the commercials and Cheeks lies, I just wanted to put this. I haven't seen a Jimmy Cheeks video in a while, and to see Cheeks embellish the way Cheeks has embellishing. Oh my God! So what happened with Tonto? He home invaded that. Listen, I told you, Tonto is going to eventually kill a woman. Just broke the news that Tonto is wanted for a home invasion in Florida. Emily, I can't live without you, Emily. Mommy, friggin' freak. Oh my God. It's real. All right, this is going 2 hours. I got to stop this. I don't like them going over 2 hours. Thanks for everybody watching. God bless yous. Have a good one. He went off the res again. Unreal. Unreal. Hey, take care, everybody. God bless.